So you're thinking of moving to Boise, Idaho, and you're really curious about Eagle, Idaho. In today's video, I'm gonna take us on a little tour downtown. There's some crazy things happening in Eagle. It's growing a lot. I'll also include links to other videos I've done on Eagle in case you wanna learn more about it. But let's jump right in. So over here, this is gonna be kind of the old downtown, right? The quiet street, you know, stoplights, things like that. It was probably stop signs back in the day, obviously. You see kind of the old homes that are converted into commercial space. Over here, you're gonna have Gem State Brewing, so you're seeing that's new construction, a lot newer. Again, a lot's happening down here. Over here, we got Reed Cycle Bicycle Shop. Over there, we have Spitfire Tacos and Tequila. Not a bad taco place. And just so you have your bearings, again, we're downtown right now. I'm walking west. And it's fairly busy, you know, you got cars coming through. We got some construction up there. One thing that I want to show you guys is going to be on the corner up there, because last time I was here, that was not done yet. But again, it just goes to show how much Eagle's growing. And State Street is going to be a main road out there. That's where a lot of the traffic is pushed through. So the nice thing about Eagle is that this is East State Street here, but the main state's gonna be out there, and that's where a ton of traffic goes, and it keeps this area a lot quieter, which is really nice for pedestrians and things like that. We're gonna go ahead and jaywalk on camera. Other things you're gonna have down here, obviously the subway. You're gonna have some shops too. I highlighted these shops pretty good on my other downtown Eagle tour video, but just want to give you guys an update of what's going on. I'll link that other downtown video in the description down below, where we go more into depth on a lot of the things that I'm passing by and that you're seeing. But nice sidewalks, nice and quiet. Something I've mentioned before is that I think what sets Eagle apart is the fact that the main road out there, which is State, which takes you into town, does not cut through the heart of Eagle. But as you continue to head west, you're gonna hit other cities like Star and Middleton, and it's classic where the main road cuts right through the heart of town. And so it'll just be interesting to see how that grows, how that affects the downtown area, because you're just constantly getting more and more traffic right through the heart of town. Whereas Eagle, it's offset a little bit, and so it's a lot calmer than it would be. If State Street, the main street was State Street was running through here, it'd be kind of crazy. So this is something that's happening. You got some empty lots on the corner right here, and this one has been developed. It's gonna be commercial space down below, and then got some really kind of luxury high-end places on the rooftop. But you got Sweet Tea Living right there. Again, I highlighted that in my other video, so if you wanna see that, go watch it. You got a interesting place. I'm like forgetting the name of it right now. I met the guy who owns this place. Love that guy. Was just singing in his Prius, and we made eye contact, and he stopped singing. But let's see. This is going to be, well, it's a coffee shop in the morning. Yeah, Old State Saloon. Live music, events, things like that. I mean, here you kind of see they got salads, sides, tacos, lager braised bratwurst. Yum. And here now you're seeing this is going to be more commercial going in right there, and then you got some places up top as well. And then it looks like they're finally developing that corner lot there. Let's go see what we can learn about the Hemingway right here. So a little bit about these buildings right here. So this is going to be one, it's going to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,400 square feet. And currently it's listed, it's going to be right up there. Currently it's listed at ultimately $1 million. And so I'd be curious what you guys think. Is that worth it? I'll show some photos of that right now, but beautiful location, very, very lovely. Is that something you guys are interested in, is condo living in Eagle, Idaho, above a downtown area like this? It's interesting to see that start to come in. As you can see, that does not exist here in Eagle. You don't see any second stories on a lot of these buildings that is condos at all. So it's very interesting for this building to come in and do that. And then here is your downtown commercial space right here. So this would be fun, especially once this turns into a really nice sidewalk. Really large commercial spaces in there. So crazy to see kind of Eagle just expanding like this. And yeah, so now what I want to do is show you guys one of the parks, probably one of my favorite parks here in the Eagle area. So we'll go check that out. And then I want to show you guys a spot down by the Boise River. In fact, there's another great option, another great park over there as well. And then you can get access to the walking path, and there's a new restaurant that I want to highlight for you guys. And the area by the restaurant too is really cool. Just great ambiance, really beautiful, and the trees over there are some of my favorite. So here we go. Another great thing about Eagle is all the parks that they have. One park that stands out to me in particular is going to be Gerber Park. One thing that's great about it is it's going to have a splash pad. So it's really busy today. The parking lot's full. We're here midweek. This is I think Tuesday? Yeah, today's Tuesday. I get mixed up sometimes. They got soccer fields over here. You may have seen this in other videos of mine too, but huge, huge play structure. And then over here, you got the water park. When me and my wife relocated here, we actually got a rental just up that hill. And it was really great because there's a dirt path right over there. And so you could walk or ride your bike down here. And this was where we spent a lot of time when we first moved here, and we were looking for a home, and it was great. And we came from Portland, Oregon. My wife's originally from Idaho. We met in Seattle, got married. I actually did a video on what our journey was like here. You can see that here, and then I'll also include a link to that down below. But you got basketball courts, beautiful soccer fields. These are really active on the weekends with games, things going on. But anyways, in that video, you can hear about mine and my wife's journey and what it was like for us to relocate. I actually want to do an update to that video. I'd be curious if you guys have any questions about Idaho that me and my wife could answer in that. But here's a splash pad. Gosh, I don't know, what, 30 kids out here and adults having a good time. You have these covered pavilions, which are really nice to get you out of the heat. There's a little bit of cloud coverage right now, but yeah, great place for all the kids to come out and cool off and stay cool on these hot summer days. And then of course these covered pavilions to my left. Oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome. So yeah, super fun area to come hang out. Gerber Park is definitely one of the benefits. And Eagle, and again, the parks are really clean here. I don't know where you're thinking about moving from, but when me and my wife moved from Oregon, you're always a little nervous about parks because you often found it was a great spot for kids and homeless people. And I remember when we lived in Oregon, it was very much like you kind of go check for needles, you check for other things. And it's nice. It took me a while to like realize I don't have to do that here. And so that's just, yeah. I find a lot of people really find safety in Idaho. They'll use terms like that to describe it. They'll also be like, people are really, really friendly here. In fact, I was talking to somebody who was thinking about moving to Colorado or Boise, and they're like, man, Idaho won out just for the sheer friendliness of it all. Okay, there's one other place I want to show you guys. It's going to be down by the river, beautiful walking path, a really cool restaurant that went in, but just really gorgeous, lots of shade. Also a good spot to cool off in the summer. All right, now we're down by the Boise River. Downtown Eagle is just to my right, so north of me. Behind me, we have Bardonnay's, which is going to be a restaurant. And this is going to be, I think, the Hilton right here to my right. And then we got the Boise River down to my left. But there's some things I want to show you guys down in this area. And actually, we just had a client in town from Tennessee, and they stayed here, which was really centralized because they were interested in some of the the foothill communities like Hidden Springs, which I think ended up being a fit for them. But this could be a place that if you wanted to stay, you could stay there. And as you can kind of see, it looks out onto the Boise River. So really beautiful. And then if you are there and then you have some downtime on your scouting trips, you can just kind of walk out your door and you'd be right on the Greenbelt, which is what I'm on right now. And you'd have great walkability. You'd be close to some food options. There's actually a really good smoothie place right on the other side of this, which is very refreshing on a hot day. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys the river, and then there's a park just down the road that I want to show you guys too. Another really good park in this area. So this is going to be the overpass right here. This is going to be Eagle Road, the main stretch that would take you from Eagle out to 84. But here is the river that cuts through here. Got some people over there hanging out. Got some ducks just past them. Some really good fishing right in this area. And as you can see, nobody camping down under this overpass. Man, that river just makes me want to jump in and go fishing. I have not really been out fly fishing much this year. But if you enjoy fly fishing, the Boise River is great for that. I'm in some of the fly fishing Facebook groups, and a guy pulled out his PB, which is personal best, and it was a brown trout, and it was a monster. But very pretty to see how the river kind of weaves through here. I grew up on a river in Washington on the Puyallup River, and it wasn't it didn't have the same beauty that the Boise River has. Not all rivers are made equal. And something I love about the Boise River is not only can you fish in it, you can raft it, you can float it. It's got safe areas for kids to play in it. And visually, it's just gorgeous to look at, very serene. So there we got some boys hitting the river down there. Again, very fun thing to explore. And now we've crossed under, so again, that's Eagle Road right there, main thoroughfare. Over there, Negronti Creamery and Coffee, and then Banano, I think is what it's called, and that's gonna be your smoothies. There's a new restaurant right here. I've yet to go. My wife is gone. She loved it. She said the ambiance is good, the food's delicious. But again, look at this. When I see this, so the river's all the way over there. Got some beautiful trees through here, tall grasses, some trails. And when I see this, gosh, it's just not, it's just like doesn't feel like Boise. I think when you see this, you're like, that just doesn't feel like Idaho. So here's that restaurant, very fancy. Got some outdoor seating. And I think the name of this is gonna be Pig Latin. In fact, I'll show you some of the things that they have there. Be sure if you come into town, make a reservation. You wanna be sure to have a reservation for that one. So what I wanna do is I wanna walk over here and show you guys just kind of down at the river's edge. And then I wanna jump back and I'll show you another park just on this side of things over here. But again, this is the green belt that we're on. And the green belt kind of just ends right up here. So this is Eagle. You could take this green belt path, you could walk it, you could bike it. You kind of see we got 2 cycles up here, but you could bike this, gosh, I think it's like 25 miles all the way to Lucky Peak Reservoir. And so these people have electric bikes. I have some electric bikes. It's super fun to cruise around town with those and the kids. Let's see. Let's go ahead and walk down here a little bit. But again, there's lots of different areas on the river to come hang out. And you know, you can kind of find your piece that you end up liking for whatever reasons. But this is really fun. It's really shallow. I mean, I don't know if I could walk. I bet I could walk all the way across that. You get out about halfway into that river and it looks like maybe it's like a foot deep. And then it's obviously going to be deeper on that other side. But oh, little monarch butterfly. Beautiful. But really beautiful. If you're into fishing and you're like me, you're thinking, oh, I'd love to go fish those ripples down there. Got some good oxygenated water. I see some ducks over there. Got some kids playing. Tons of trees for cover and shade. So if you wanted to come down, sit in a lounge chair, you could do that and you could easily find some shade and the kids could go jump in the water. I was down here with my dog the other day and we let him run around and fetch sticks. That was really fun. But again, really calm river, not super threatening, pretty safe to spend some time in. Again, when I think about this, it's like your kids could come here and play. If you wanted to fish, you could fish with them. Even that looks like a really good fishing spot. Hopefully I have some fly fishermen who like watching this video. But it's like when I see this, it's like, man, your kids could play down there in fairly shallow water. Here's another deep spot that I bet is very fishy. And really beautiful, right? The trees that are going right there. This is really close to downtown Eagle. Even got a nice orange right there, a little bit of trash in the river. Looks like we got a gal in the river up here, got a dog. Again, nice and shallow through here. Oh yeah, she's got her chair in the river. We're gonna give her a little bit of space. Actually gonna cut back up this way, but I'll kind of keep walking through for you guys to see this. That's something that I like about Idaho, and I find a lot of people like, is just your access to things. So you kind of saw it's like you know, the downtown area that I showed you guys at the beginning of the film, I could probably walk there in 5 to 10 minutes up that road. And then you're just not too far from that. Now, granted, here, we're close to that main road. So yeah, you're hearing a little bit of the traffic, the noise from that. But other than that, there's so many different little spots along the river that you could kind of find that ultimately would become, you know, some of your favorite spots. Doesn't have to be this one. This one's kind of more close to some noise and some commercial space, but you can find other places. And really, it probably depends on where you live. If you were to live out here, you know, are you within biking distance? Now, just across this bridge, you start to get into Meridian at that point, right? So Eagle's gonna be off to our left over here, and then south, that's gonna be Meridian. This is like the main road that cuts through Meridian. So even if you live in Meridian, you're gonna be right on that side of the river. A lot of this would be accessible to you depending on where you ended up. It could easily be walkable or bikeable. Now let's jump down just a little bit. I'll hop back in the truck and we'll drive down and we'll look at that park. All right, the last place I want to show you guys today is going to be Reed Merrill Park. There's two main things I want to show you here, but we got the Creamery, hand scoop ice cream right behind us, people in line for that. And here's your play structure. And so we got a lot of kind of sunbrellas right there. We got some swings. Again, they have another splash pad here like we saw at Gerber. So yeah, here you're gonna get a play structure like we did at Gerber, but very great, lots of sunshade for family, and then all these water features and with the kids. Also, last time I was here with my kids, we did, I'm gonna spoil this one for you guys, but we did geocaching, and one of the geocaches was right here, and man, we were on the struggle bus of finding it. So if you ever come here and you're with your kids, don't show them this part, tell them to look away right now. Okay, but if you do come here as an adult, just know the geocache is here, and it's literally this bolt right here. It's magnetically placed. So anyways, that's a fun one to find. My kids looked forever for that one, and we almost gave up. In fact, it was really funny when I was looking through the comments of that, I saw that my friend made a comment saying that they found it, and I texted him, and I'm just like, please give me a hint. Like, am I going crazy? Is it still here? So anyways, geocaching, really fun. Something I do with my kids. So now what I want to show you guys is the river. So this park is a great access point. You have parking right there, right behind us. And just very quickly, you know, that's where the parking is back there. That's the play structure. And then as we walk out here, this path very quickly will get us out to the river. So let me just show you that. You guys are gonna go float the river with that? Oh.
I'd never see them again.
Love it.
No, there's just this little area that's...
They'll float on it kind of thing?
They'll float on before you get to the river.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is it across the bridge to the left? Is that the area you're talking about? Yeah, that's a good spot.
Go, like there's a rocky or a sandy area.
Yeah.
You cross in and then, yeah.
Yeah, great.
They'll just be
Well, enjoy that. Be nice and cool down there, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So again, guys, this is going to be the green belt right here. And then depending on where you live, right, you could easily bike here if you wanted to. So really pretty, something about the Treasure Valley that's great is the green belt because it connects a lot of stuff. So if you want to get out and you don't want to be in a car, that's great that the Creamery is advertising out here to get cyclists to come off the trail. So let's go ahead and cut down in the trail. I'll show you guys the river. Also, there's another geocache I want to come out here and do with my kids, but you can only come at night because you're ultimately looking for a reflective item that's like 6 to 8 feet up in a tree. And then you just have another monarch butterfly right there. Pretty. All right, let's jump out here. I'll show some clips here too of me and my family just playing out here with our dog and the kids. This is not like the best spot for you guys to see the river access, but there are areas that are a lot more exposed so you can see. But also really good fishing here too. Haven't caught a fish here, but I have hooked into a fish. It was actually crazy. I was fishing here one time. We had a school event where everybody met up at this park, and I was fishing, and two of my kids were just like running through here, and my daughter stepped on a log that had like a beehive in it, and oh, yeah, it was bad. She got stung. There's a great local bee guy here who I've called in the past who came out and took care of it. Very dangerous for the kids, but he came out and took care of it. But it was funny, the first time I met this bee guy was we had I think you call it like a swarm, or essentially when honeybees, I think, are looking for a new home, they'll like swarm a branch or a tree, and that was happening outside our house. We called this guy and he was able to rehome them. But great guy, and super interesting with bees. If I can remember it, I'll leave a link to that. If you have kids, they'll probably be very intrigued by that video. But great guy. He actually comes out to one of the oh, look at that bug. Huh. Boop. He comes out to the harvest fest that we have, and with your kids, he'll put a drop of honey on your kid's hand, and bees will swarm to it, eat up all the honey, then fly away. So this guy's like the bee whisperer. So, well, hope you guys like that video about eagle. If you guys want to see more, look for links in the description down below, or watch either of these videos next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.